All right, so let's dive into the whole idea of how web traffic and trends potentially could work in the crypto community. We'll get into that today. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to TechPath. Here's the thing, when you look at a couple of scenarios, there are a few indicators that are somewhat leading indicators that we look at a lot. One, of course, is, typical Google Trends. You can also look at traffic for a lot of different, digital entities that kind of help you understand whether something is starting to move or it's starting to flatline. And then you can start to subset that data and look at what is really causing it. So I want to jump to this piece that was over into the block that one of their analysts did, basically saying web traffic to crypto exchanges continue to fall in July. Now remember, July was a soft month. It's also a low trading month for a lot of exchanges in terms of just people not going on in terms of the overall investment community. But as you can kind of see here, as data compiled, the block research shows there were 319.2 million visits to crypto exchanges in July, 13.5% less than in June. Pretty typical. The difference here, I thought, which is very interesting, is Binance holds 42% of the web traffic for crypto exchanges in July. Coinbase is number 2 by quite a ways down at 15.5, Bybit 4.7, etc. Binance has been having a lot of struggle, and in general, could we be seeing, and I would be interested to see if their user base is falling. It'll be interesting if they actually publish that data to see if Binance, any kind of the Binance user base is starting to move off of the crypto exchange. Could that be one of the indicators there? And when you look at not only what Lars was saying here, Lars Hoffman, he noted on Twitter that declining crypto exchange web traffic coincides with the trading volume, which is what I said earlier, both on all-time high of 2.3. This was 2.3 trillion was back in May, and then now 1.2 trillion here in June, so quite a bit difference. All of this still points in the right direction for me in terms of low volume, low activity, main traders not necessarily as active in the summer. All of that kind of moves into that. It also said that other aspects of the crypto ecosystem saw declines in July as well. 29.3% decline on on-chain volume and a 32% decrease in spot trading volumes for crypto exchanges. Again, this gets back into the type of traders that are active in these spaces. And I wanted to take a look at how maybe Binance, and when you think about BNB and what their token, along with maybe some of the other, I won't call them exchanges, but some of the other outlets in which where you could go get traffic to go buy cryptocurrency, were doing over the past 3 months. Here was a quick chart on Binance Coin. You can kind of see it kind of fell, obviously, like all coins and tokens and projects, falling in May, but never really recovered here. Voyager token kind of was moving in its dip, didn't see the kind of dip that most of these did, and then of course now we're seeing this run up right here. Make sure and check out our video on the Voyager token, because we've done a couple of them, both as an analysis on Voyager token, but also an interview with Steve Ehrlich, which you got to check that video out, because it goes into a lot about why VGX is climbing, why we could see it do some pretty special things. Then you look at over here at Celsius, Celsius chart, also flatlined a little bit there in May, didn't see again a big hit. These kind of tokens most of the time, but the point is that the question I have is, are we seeing, because Binance kind of controls the lion's share of traffic, is there a mind shift that's starting to occur on Binance, or is it the type of trader that we've just seen kind of flushed out of the market, and the core traders are going along with the market, where we've seen a little bit of the traffic decline? Because remember, a lot of these people may have been doing 1 and 2, 3 trades during maybe June and July, which is where we saw this, versus their normal active trading. So we thought, well, hey, let's go in and take a look at the top crypto investors and track them. And this was, again, on-chain analysis, 306,000 wallets that are active Bitcoin traders. And you can kind of see the numbers right here in terms of sentiment among these traders. When we look at transactions around the data sets, the idea is we try to trace this back out to social to be able to pull some sort of sentiment data of people who are active active statements on trading on Bitcoin, et cetera. And it goes across social media in general on sentiment. And this was interesting of active traders on social media in March, very high sentiment, 62.13. April, we slide to 58.06. And then there's May. Of course, we know what happened in May, 41.29. That's a very low sentiment score. Most of that was, again, even with active traders, very low sentiment score. But June showed a bit of a climb, more so than in May. And then even in July, 55.61. And then here we are in August at 62.09, back to almost our high pre, the crash. Interesting though enough here is that we did see a little bit of a decline right here, almost as if there was a little bit of a telegraph. I wish we had been scoring this data back in March and April, because this was a little bit telegraphing maybe of something that might be brewing in the crypto space. But seeing this kind of movement right here over this past couple of months is pretty promising. And I think also it moves back to where these active wallets are and who are really the traders. And this gets to my whole point of kind of the FOMO aspect, because active wallets and active traders are the ones that usually lead a market charge. And that's what we're in right now with Bitcoin. So I don't necessarily think that this falling scenario of traffic is going to last too long. Most likely we're going to see a fairly good upswing in August, and probably more stabilized and interesting to track against this in September as we move on in. So the question is really, where will Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of move in the next few months? That's going to be the big one. Obviously, we're in the middle of a somewhat mini bull run right now that's kind of tracking against this, but I see this from a crypto and mainly the active traders right now. Sentiment is very strong in these active traders, so it doesn't alarm me that we've seen this falling. Could that be something to watch? Sure, absolutely. And we do these market movers, so hopefully it's given you guys a direction on both research and hopefully understanding kind of where the markets are heading, and potentially giving you some data that can kind of help you go out and get your own research done. Again, remember, not investment advice. So always go do your own research as we get rolling. If you're over on the podcast, make sure, and of course, give us a follow over there, because it's a big deal. It does help the show. And of course, if you like to see the charts, then you want to jump over here to YouTube, which is just Paul Barron Network. You can find us anywhere out there on the YouTube interwebs. And of course, you want to hit me up direct, just do it on Twitter. It's the best way. @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.